Thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk. I'm your host, Lisa Love. Believing our children are the future and being the reason that our children are the future are two different things. Our next guest explains his transition from sports icon to youth mentor. Let's talk to Joe Jordan, President and CEO of the Fort Wayne Boys and Girls Club. Hi, Joe. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no, it's definitely my pleasure. Could you tell me a little bit about the Boys and Girls Club and your program?
Be happy to. We are a youth development organization that's been around for 27 years. Our mission is to inspire all young people, especially those who need us most, to become productive, caring, responsible citizens. And we do that through a variety of programs and services.
So how did you transition from sports and basketball to a youth mentor?
Well, basketball was a very important function in my life when I was younger, and it allowed me to meet a lot of great people. It allowed me to develop characteristics that I carry on today. I'm very competitive, but I'm about team and community. So I transfer all those skills I learned on the basketball court right into my professional career as an executive in the not-for-profit sector.
Okay, well that's good. You used it in a very good way. So would you tell me why you got involved?
Well, I've always been all about community. I was youngest of 10 children, and so a lot of the community services that were out there I utilized when I was younger. And so wanting to give back, because a lot was given to me, I think we live in a great community, and I think we've got great community resources. Mm-hmm. And so I wanted to be a person that gave back and live a life of significance and give back to other people, because so many people have given to me as I was growing up.
Oh, that's a great way to think of it, trust me. We appreciate that, of course.
Thank you.
So what do you see is the biggest concern in our community?
Well, I just want to make sure we have the total community engaged in the prosperity. As you see, there's a lot of momentum happening in our community, the downtown development. There's a lot of synergy around the growth and development of our community. But I want to make sure that all of our community take part and be a part and feel a part of all that growth and momentum. So I just want to make sure that whether you live on the southeast, southwest, mm-hmm. northeast, northwest, it doesn't matter. Right. We should all be about this community, and all should have a part in the growth of this community. So I just want to ensure that everybody
is sticking together,
and everybody feeling valued and appreciated, and an opportunity to engage in the community.
Yes, sir. No, completely. Mm-hmm. So, next question. We already talked about your greatest concern. What is the greatest strength in our community in your eyes?
Again, I think we have a great community. I think our community is big enough where we can make a difference, but it's also small enough where we can all galvanize around a common issue. I think sometimes we take issues and we departmentalize them depending on where they are. If they're southeast issues, people in the southwest that's not very concerned about them. Mm-hmm. But we all are connected. This is one community. And so we're only as strong as our weakest link. And so if the southeast has some issues, then there should be a community solution. Mm-hmm. So we should be about community no matter where we live at, no matter what zip code you live in. It's all about community. So that's my main concern, and that's what I'm working towards. Everything I do at the Boys and Girls Club involves partnerships, collaborations, because I want our kids to be exposed to all segments of this community. It's not just because they live here mm-hmm. and they only see this. We have to expose our kids to all the resources in this community, because again, we have a wonderful community with great resources. We just got to connect the people who need them with the resource.
Yes, sir. And would you say communication plays a big part in that?
Huge. When you look at communication, a lot of the problems we have is because of lack of communication. You know, I've been participating in a group called Fort Wayne United, and what that group does is bring different races, different ethnicities together, and we just talk. We have serious dialogue about our own cultures, and you can see the transform mindsets of people, because now they hear a different perspective. And so communication is huge, and we got to continue to do that, communicate with each other.
Of course. Communication, like I said, without communication, and a lot of times we don't communicate, it causes a lot of miscommunication. Stay tuned. Up next, we have more with Joe Jordan from the Fort Wayne Boys and Girls Club.
It's an absolute nightmare.
I was terrified. It was like your head's gonna explode.
Migraine is a disabling disease.
Just all of a sudden couldn't see.
Migraine has ruined my life.
Absolutely terrifying.
There's pain that does not stop.
I feel like I'm dying.
There's thunder and lightning.
It's a throbbing, pulsing, banging, hammering feeling in your head.
36 million Americans suffer.
I started getting migraines around 5 years old.
Just takes over everything.
I feel trapped by migraine.
It hurts like my head's gonna fall off.
And the whole world around you stops.
My world has gotten small.
You feel like the world's closing in on you. There's nothing you can do.
I had spent a year housebound.
It's like you're trapped in your head. There's no escaping it. You can't leave your body.
Don't suffer alone. Make your move against migraine. Learn more. Find help. Get connected. The American Migraine Foundation.
Everyone deserves a decent place to live.
Everyone.
When a future homeowner partners with Habitat for Humanity to build or improve a home, they build a better future for themselves and their families.
For my family.
For my family.
For my family.
With a little help, we all have the potential to stand on our own.
Potential.
Visit Habitat.org to provide help to families like these today.
Welcome back. Let's continue our conversation with President and CEO of our Fort Wayne Boys and Girls Club, Joe Jordan. Joe, so can you tell me what role the Fort Wayne Boys and Girls Club plays in our community?
Well, I think it's a tremendous role because we are impacting the community immediately, and we also are impacting it well within the future. We are serving over 500 kids a day,
Wow.
every day of the year, all day during the summertime. I'm very proud of that.
Yeah.
And so we have an opportunity to impact those lives right now, making sure those kids have a productive pathway to a productive future as they become adults. So I think our role is critical.
Oh, me definitely as well. Trust me. You get them started on something, positive young, they'll keep that pattern. So my next question is, what do you try to instill in the children that you work with?
Well, the first thing, I take a lot of pride. I had the pleasure of working at the Boys and Girls Club for about 9 years. And the first obligation I have is to be a good role model. So those kids see me every single day, and I want them to look at me in a positive way. So that's my first obligation. And then I want to build character and leadership in our kids, because at the end of the day, academics is very important. We have academic programming, but if you don't know how to talk to people, you don't have the soft skills to get along with people, academics become irrelevant. And vice versa. If you can get along with people but you can't read and write, it becomes irrelevant. So we have to make sure that academics and character and leadership skills are in our kids. And then we have to make sure that they're valued and appreciated. So sometimes it's just about sitting there talking and listening to children. A lot of our kids don't have parents at home that just take time to listen to them. So that creates a sense of value for them. And then we have to make sure we have high expectation for kids, because kids rise to the level of what you expect. I mean, sometimes kids we serve, some people just, hey, well, that's just a kid in the hood, and leave it. And so we all have to be valued.
Yes.
One thing that I had when I was younger, because I grew up, again, youngest of 10, very poor, but we had high self-esteem, high self-concept, because our parents and my siblings gave me that. So I had high expectations for myself. So we just got to make sure our kids are valued, and we should have high expectations for them.
Yeah, and what it sounds like to me, what you're saying is it all starts with the parents as well. So is there any way that you guys allow the parents to come in with the children and kind of have a bonding moment?
Yeah, we do. We are focused on the youth, but we also have parent engagement opportunities as well. We think that we are a partner. We are a component of the parent. We're not trying to raise the children, but we actually want to make sure that they have some values that's going to help them be productive adults.
Okay, great. So what are you passionate about?
Obviously, I'm passionate about kids. I've been working in the social service sector for over 30 years, and I just love helping people, because I've been blessed. with a lot of people helping me become who I am, and to be able to come full circle and do the same for others is just a blessing. And at the end of the day, I want to live a life of significance, and this will give me significance.
Okay. Do you have a quick story or a lesson where you had a student or a young adult and, you know, they came back and they were successful? They have, you know, everything that you've instilled in them, you know, still going on?
We do. We have a number of those stories. You know, I'm very proud of our alumni, and they coming back and after they graduate from college and wanting to come into the club. Actually, we have several staff members that used to be club members now are coming back and working for the Boys and Girls Club. And so there's tons of stories like that. You know, again, I've been around for 30 years, and to see young men that we had our hands on some way or another, to see them being productive is awesome. I mean, that's what makes it all worthwhile, because we don't do it for the money. We just do it for the reason of making sure that we're impacting lives.
That's great. So are there any partnerships that you guys currently have, or ones that you're looking forward to in the future?
Yeah, we are probably one of the most collaborative organizations in the city. We collaborate with everybody because the one thing that we understand, we have the ability to build strong relationships with kids, but if those kids need academic help, we bring in academic organizations like specialty tutoring. They do they're expert in teaching kids math, writing, and reading. So they'll come into our organizations and helping us build these kids. So we collaborate with everybody. We just entered into a collaboration with the Fraternal Order of Police that's going to engage the police community with at-risk youth. It's going to be a mentoring program, and it's going to be an ongoing program where kids and police have a chance to get to know each other.
Yes.
Because it's this rift that we have in our community with police and our communities, it's got to stop.
Yes.
And we start with our kids and build those relationships.
Yeah. So any advice that you would like to give to, of course, the young viewers that we have, the young children?
Yeah, I just want them to dream. Don't stop dreaming, and go for it. You know, because greatness is within them.
Yeah.
God made them, and greatness is with each and every one of us. But sometimes we don't realize our greatness. Gotta go for it. You know, so do all you can. Go on a path of productivity. You know, follow your dreams. Don't let nobody derail you. Just keep following your dreams and stay close to God, and things will work out.
All right. Well, I thank you so much for coming on the show, and that was some great advice. All right.
Thank you.
I look forward to seeing you in the future.
Thank you for having me.
Coming up next, where to turn if you are a victim of violence or abuse.
Waiting until this summer could get you this. Or you can plan ahead. Let us design the perfect t-shirt for you and your family. Now's a great time to order your family reunion shirts from the Lyric in Line T-shirt Company. Visit lyricinlinetshirtcompany.com to view our designs or call 260-225-7479 to let us create a shirt just for you. Don't let this be you.
We meet online, and I tell you, I'm falling in love. I have to see you in person, but I need a loan for the ticket. I really think you're the one. And I really think you're desperate. Sure enough, you sent cash and never see me again. Too smart to fall for this? Last year alone, 12 million Americans lost money this way. Can you believe it? You shouldn't. I made that up, too. Might not be as smart as you thought you were.
Kaya weighed just 1 pound 1 ounce at birth and endured a grueling 163 days in the hospital. Thanks to research funded by the March of Dimes, Kaya survived premature birth, the #1 killer of babies in the United States. The birth of a child is supposed to be a joyful event, yet each year about 380,000 babies like Kaya are born too soon, and many have serious health problems that can last a lifetime. But you can change that. Join 3 million friends, families, and colleagues in more than 500 communities across the nation in March for Babies. The money we raise is so important in fighting premature birth and other life-threatening challenges that newborns face. We're supporting research and programs that help more moms have full-term pregnancies and healthier babies. Sign up, join a team, and start fundraising today at marchforbabies.org. Together, we can fight premature birth and help more babies be born healthy.
Welcome back. We hear a lot about crimes in our community, but what about the victims? Where do they turn for help and support? Let's talk to Jessica Crozier, Director of Victim Assistance. Hi, Jessica. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no, it's definitely my pleasure. Thank you for coming. So could you tell me about Victims Assistance and what the program is?
Yes, we are an agency of the Fort Wayne Police Department that provides services to crime victims here in the Fort Wayne area and surrounding counties of Allen County.
Okay, now do you guys specify on what kind of victims you assist, or is this program for everyone that is a victim, of course?
It's for all crime victims. Generally, we have a lot of domestic violence victims, sexual assault victims, but it's for any crime victim that we will serve.
So why was the program started, and could you tell me when it was started?
We started in 1981, and it was just started so we can start providing services to crime victims to let them know what their rights are and help them navigate through the criminal justice system.
So last year, Victims Assistance provided service for 6,800 crime victims in the community. What was the most important service that was provided?
Oftentimes when we're interacting with clients, we're giving them protective order information and doing a lot of safety planning. Oftentimes they don't know what to do when someone is harassing them or threatening them, and they just don't know where to begin. Oftentimes they think it's like what you see on the media, and it's just not like that. If we could get DNA in a commercial break, that would be fabulous.
Exactly, yeah.
But that's not the way the system works, so we're kind of put in place to kind of help provide that emotional support and guidance and really advocate for them when they don't feel they have a voice.
Right, no, and trust me, I'm sure that's helpful because it probably gives them a little bit more courage to, push forward. Situations like that with victims and violence, it's not always the best.
Yeah.
So what other services do you guys provide aside from, of course, the protective orders?
Oftentimes advocates are making that initiating call with the client, assessing the case, determining what their needs are. If it's not something that we can do in-house, we have to stay up to date with all the social services here in Allen County and get them the needs they have. If the defendant is arrested on a case, we're the ones that are walking them through that court process. Every time the defendant goes to court, we call them. If they want to know if the defendant's going to be released prior to leaving jail, we give them a heads up just for safety purposes. So we kind of hold their hands and guide them through that whole entire process.
Okay, and so what about victims that may be a part of violence or may be inflicted upon or have something going on, however, they don't know anything about this program, they don't think they have any help? Where is a place where they can go and kind of get more information on Victims Assistance?
Well, we have access to all the police reports in Allen County, so our advocates are reading them and picking the ones that would fit our office, and then we make that initiating contact with them and let them know what their rights are, because oftentimes when individuals are going through something traumatic, the last thing they think about is, okay, what was that number you gave me?
True.
Who do I need to call? They're not thinking about that. They're trying to get safe.
Okay. So does the program extend the time that they help people, like over months and years? Say, something happened to me 2 years ago. Could I still come back to you guys and say, hey, I need a little bit of help with this?
Yeah, absolutely. We have, one of the great things that we do is we keep the same victim with the same advocate. A lot of the advocates have been there for years. Maybe that first time they're not going to reach out to the victim. Maybe they won't even respond to the letters, but maybe by that third or fourth time, maybe they'll want to start talking to them and getting the resources. So we always keep the same victim with the same advocate.
Good. So what is a way that you guys help the victims feel more empowered about their decisions going forward?
Well, we really try to let them make that decision, especially when we're talking about domestic violence. Oftentimes the abuser, it's all about power and control, and they've never had a voice. So our idea is to give them options and let them know what their rights are, and it's really up for them to decide what they feel is best and what journey they're going to take.
Okay, that's great. So how have victims changed over time? Of course, with new generation, things being more trendy nowadays, how have victims changed and the situations changed?
Well, technology is a big thing. Everyone loves Facebook, Twitter, but that can be a real problem, especially when someone's trying to find you and harass you. They will use all kinds of means when it comes to cell phones, and not everybody's understanding about if you take a video or picture, it's out there forever.
Yes.
And so we really have to educate them about technology and all the do's and don'ts and how to be safe with it.
Do you have a story from a victim that we could speak about today and kind of...
Yeah, definitely.
It turned into a success story, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I remember having a victim. Domestic violence is tricky. It can take about 7 or 8 times before they decide to leave. And I remember working with her and having her for years, and she just wasn't ready. I'm a complete stranger. She doesn't know me. That abuser is everything. Maybe makes all the money, has all the friends. So it just was an opportunity for us to, over time, we got to know each other. And finally, she started understanding the warning signs and, you know, decided to leave the relationship. And now she's successful and, you know, has a job. So that's amazing.
Good. No, she's doing great for herself. And trust me, I'm sure she feels a lot better without that situation holding her down a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. When we come back, we'll have more with Jessica Crozier.
To be able to just get my son here and not think about how we will pay for it, it just takes so much weight off of my family. St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
Have you mixed your pain meds, your sleep meds, your allergy meds? Call the Poison Helpline. Has your child swallowed household cleaner, a chip of paint, a wild mushroom? Call the Poison Helpline. Have you been bitten by a spider, a snake, an insect? Call the Poison Helpline. Poisonings can happen at the home, on the job, or in the great outdoors. Call the Poison Helpline first to speak with medical professionals who can give you free personal advice anytime. 1-800-222-1222. Save the number, save a life.
Waiting until this summer could get you this. Or you can plan ahead. Let us design the perfect t-shirt for you and your family. Now's a great time to order your family reunion shirts from the Lyric in Line T-shirt Company. Visit lyricInLineT-shirtCompany.com to view our designs or call 260-225-7479 to let us create a shirt just for you. Don't let this be you.
Welcome back. Here with us again is Miss Jessica Crozier. So Jessica, could you tell us about the community outreach program?
Yeah, we do try to do a lot of things in the community. So one of the things that we'll do is we try to reach out to the schools, and if they request us, we'll try to go in and do healthy relationships with the students. It's never too early to get in and start teaching about those things. Another thing that we do is during National Domestic Violence Awareness Month in October, we did the Rise Up Against Domestic Violence in a balloon release out in front of the courthouse. So it was just a way for the community to come together, show support for domestic violence victims, to let them know that there is hope when and if they're ready to come forward, and just to bring us together. We also do during National Crime Victims' Rights Week, which is held every April. There's always a theme, just a way for victims to know that the community cares, and also for public servants to recommit themselves to the community. Okay. And we do a candlelight vigil to honor those who lost their lives to violence. And then the last thing that we do is our Diamonds and Denim event that's coming up at the end of April as well, just to raise funds for our office. We always have a fund in need, and just to once again show the community that we need to come together, because that's the only way this violence is going to end, if we all have our part into it. Yeah, and join and be together. Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right with that. So with the events that you guys do, I noticed that you said others from the community, of course, can come and become involved.
We do have a Facebook page that if anybody wants to know about the organization or the details about the events, you can go there and find all that information.
Okay, good. We'll make sure we get that from you. That way we can post it and put it everywhere, okay?
I'd appreciate that.
Oh, trust me, it's our pleasure. So what kind of other organizations or groups are you guys looking to reach out with or work with to kind of help with the victims?
Yeah, well, anybody and everybody. Like I said before, I really think it's a community effort. So, I mean, any one of us can be a victim at any time. Oftentimes, individuals are like, well, I'm not in domestic violence. Right. I don't have that going on in my household. but you could be the stand-up person in the community and be hit by a drunk driver. Any one of us can be impacted by crime at any time, you know, and we all have a right here in the community to make it safe and a place for all of our families to live, and we all have a part in that.
Yes, no, I agree with you. How can the community, outside of course, these events that you guys hold, are there any other ways or suggestions in which you feel we can be more involved with victims and assist them through their situations?
Yeah, one of the things that we tell a lot of organizations, you know, give the information, our information, to your workers. I mean, what if some of them are going through domestic violence or have a sexual assault going on? Give them those resources. Teach them about healthy relationships. It's never too soon to do that.
So what would you like to tell everyone else that is watching, or any victims that may be watching but haven't, you know, reached out?
Yeah, we're always here. Some of our best referrals is our clients themselves, you know, and not everybody is in a place where they're ready to move forward. Maybe it's embarrassing. Maybe they just don't know what their rights are, you know, so we're always here if they're ready. It doesn't necessarily have to make a police report. If individuals just want to call our office to know what their rights are and what options they have, they are more than welcome to do that, and they can call us at the 427-1205 number.
Good. So let's talk a little bit about you, Miss Jessica. When did you get into helping with the Victims Assistance Program?
Well, I grew up in law enforcement. My dad was a captain for Wabash County. It probably wasn't until after he died that I switched majors to social work and decided I really wanted to help people. I learned that a lot from him. And I joined back in 2006. I was an intern, and then I got hired on, and I did it for about 9 or 10 years, and then became the director.
All right. Well, that's pretty good. You've been doing some pretty good things in our community, so we appreciate you for that.
Thank you.
Anything else that you would like to say? And, you know, now we have the time. Let's go ahead and go over the contact information as well as like the Facebook page so that they'll know where to go.
Yeah, if anybody wants to check us out, our Facebook page is Victim Assistance, FWPD. We also have a website page on the Fort Wayne Police Department. And anyone that would like to reach out to us, they can contact us at 427-1205. If we don't answer, we have voicemail, and we're always returning phone calls.
Good. So what about victims that may want some assistance, but they want to be left anonymous? How does that work for them? Do you guys help them out, of course, with that?
Oh, yeah. We would never turn anybody away if they want to call us and don't necessarily want to give us their information, but just want to know what their rights are. We will gladly talk to them on the phone about them and let them know what their rights are and what options they have. And when they feel ready, they can call us back.
Now, one thing I didn't ask you, is there a certain age group with this, or do you guys help all age ranges when it comes to victims? Because, you know, we have children, we have adults, I mean, even preteens, they all go through situations.
We help men, women, and children.
Good.
And everything we do is free. So we don't have an age limit at all.
Okay, awesome. Well, Miss Jessica, I thank you so much for coming on the show today. And please make sure you give us your information. That way we can, of course, post it once again and make sure they always have that visual, okay?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
It's my pleasure. Having access to community resources is a valuable tool. Today's guest provided important information that we all need to be aware of. Thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk. For more information on the show, find us on Facebook. Get tips, tell us your stories, and also let us know what you want to talk about next. Let's talk.